we want it to spawn in the middle. So we're gonna get room width 5x2, and then minus our sprite width of our text box. Since the sprite isn't centered, we have to half that value as well. Then we have to choose where we want to put it for Y. Let's just go in here and see where we would like that. Right about here, be good. So 544. 544 should be good. That's that. We don't need 2 semicolons. We're also going to put text equals instant create layer. Or text box. Let's do text box. And then down here we're going to put with text box. So we're going to be accessing the object that we're creating here, specifically that instance. I'm going to put text equals argument 0. What that means is that when we call the script, we can put in arguments. So it'll look like this. It'll be scripts, text, and then parentheses here. And whatever we put in here will be our arguments. So if we say we do like blue, red, green, and it's separated by commas, this would be argument, blue would be argument 0, red would be argument 1, green would be argument 2. Since we're just only getting one thing, we only need the text we want here. That'll be our argument 0. And it'll put it into our text box, and everything should work great. Let's create a singleton. That'll always be up. Make sure it's persistent. Create. We don't need anything create right now. So let's just do a key up. Do T. And we'll do script text. This is a test. Let's make a paragraph long, or a sentence long enough to see if the spacing working correctly in our script. And we'll just go in here, drop our game manager into the room, test it, see if dialogue works. Does not. Oh, because my keyboard wasn't connected again. There we go. Oh, we also didn't set the font, so let's do that. Put it in our text box here in the draw event. We want draw set font to be font 0. Draw set color to be white. We want our alignment to be left. What kind of game am I working on? I am working on a point and click puzzle kind of game right now. I'm just starting, so we don't really have much going on right now. We're just working on the dialogue system, and then we're going to be working on the point and click movement, and then I'm going to be calling it, just because it's really late, as a short stream. The H align to be to the left, and the vertical alignment to, I think it's normally middle or center. Not sure what it normally is. Let me just double check in RV align setting. I think it's normally top actually. Probably normally top, so let's just do that. Let's just make sure that works correctly. Yeah, that works. Okay. We're done with the text. Let's go into the point and click movement. First, we're going to need player, first of all. We'll just put in prototype sprites for this. It'll just be blocks. Make the width like 96. No, 64, sorry, 96 height. Bottom down there, edit image, we're just going to make them blue. We also need a floor for them to walk across. We'll call it border, just in case we want to put borders or anything else. We'll just use this as a parent object. This will just be a black sprite. Then let's just create a small little move to sprite so we know where we're moving towards. Be like 12 by 12 or something. Edit image, white. That's that object. Oh, move to. Hi, Mad Games, how's it going? And we will create this. Let's go into our player for now. Add event, and we'll need to add a few variables like v speed, v0, normal speed, which let's do 5 for now. And that might be it actually. So let's go into create a new script. This will be our movement and collision. Start with collision, that's the trickiest part. Vertical collision. Don't need horizontal collision right now, but we'll put that in as well. So we want to make sure that if we are on top of a floor or wall, then we will stop advancing our vertical speed. So if our place meeting x, y plus our v speed, our vertical speed, and we're meeting a wall, and to stop going. While we're not meeting x, y plus sign, which basically is getting like 1 pixel, so it'll push us right against the wall instead of kind of floating there in between what this is doing. So while we are less than a pixel away, while we're more than a pixel away, it'll push us a few pixels that way. So y plus equals a sine v speed. Else v speed equals 0. I believe that's right. Y plus equals v speed. That should work. Let's just test it out real quick. Go into our room. Place our border or our floor. Drag it across. Put our player. Oops. Sprite. Put player up here. Go to our player object. Make sure the script is running. Don't have our speed, but that's fine. That's movement later on. And then just run the script. Movement. What am I doing? End collision. Let's see if it works. Make sure I misformed statement. That's fine. Yeah, we don't want else here. While that. Give me a second. want v-speed equals 0 here. Else down here, else v-speed plus equals 1. My bad. So if we're meeting a wall, stop following. If we're not meeting a wall, keep following. There we go. Yeah, we stop on the wall. That's good. Okay, so now we need movement. Which is slightly easier. Not too easy. Point and click movement. So we're gonna make an object. It's gonna have the same type of collision, so we're gonna give it a v-speed as well, but that's it. And I'll show you why in a little bit. Step, we're just gonna copy over the collision just for aesthetic purposes. Don't really need to do this, but I like the way it looks. Go back to our movement collision, and we want to check for whenever we left click to spawn that object, as long as one's not already created. So we're going to check to see if we're pressing the left mouse button. So if mouse check button pressed, mouse button left, and as long as an instance of the move to object doesn't exist. So if the instance does exist, we'll just delete the one that exists. Instance exists. O move to, then instance destroy. O move to. Else. We don't need it else. Just no matter what, we're going to spawn a new one. So instance create layer. I'm going to spawn it on our mouse X, our mouse Y, on the instances layer, and then our object. That should be right. Okay. Now, if our instance exists of our move to object, then move towards it. So checking again for that. We're gonna go move towards point O move to dot x, and then our same y, since we won't be changing our y value at all in the game. If we do, I'll have to change this, but don't believe we will be. And then our speed, which we have already set. If distance, we want to make sure they stop when they finally reach it, right? So if distance to point O move to dot x and our y is less than or equal to 1 pixel, instance destroy O move to object, and set our speed to 0. I believe? Yes. And then if it doesn't exist, make sure our speed is 0 as well. We might not need this because once we destroy that, so let's just make sure that works. Yeah, so it'll just drop right where we want it to go, and then he'll walk towards it, and when he reaches it, he'll stop. So I like the aesthetic of wherever you click, it kind of just drops down. Another thing I like to do, kind of make that fade away once it hits the ground. Or maybe from when you start clicking it, so you don't just have that clogging up your screen. So we can work on that. Make it a little more aesthetically pleasing. I'll have to give an alpha variable. equals 1. Since our alphas go between 0 and 1, we'll have to put it in a draw event. Let's see, we have to redraw the sprite. Let's move to subimage 0, x and y. Actually, we want that extended, yeah. Sorry, draw sprite extended, because that's what's going to give us access to its alpha and everything. Scale, Y scale 1, rotation 0, color C white, which will make its default sprite 1. And our alpha will be alpha. And we're going to change that variable ourselves. Change alpha. So if our B speed is equal to 0, and our alpha is greater than 0, alpha minus equals 0 point, let's see, I think 0.1 would be like really quick, so we want like 0.05 maybe? And we'll just see how that looks. Yeah, that's pretty decent speed for it to dissolve. Maybe we want to slow it down a little bit. 0.03. Yeah, that looks good. That's a good speed. And he'll just move towards it. We could probably, well, maybe speed him up later on. We're not going to make him move around this way all the time. So it's not a real big deal. It's just in specific rooms he's going to move around like this. But I think that will be it for now. All I wanted to do was the dialogue system and the movement. And then I'll work on more stuff later on, starting with the tutorial area. And that'll be a big project because I have a lot to implement there. I have the different rooms, the hover text from when your mouse goes over it, and then the main gameplay loop, which will be like the puzzles, or not really puzzles, but the kind of mini games that runs through the game. It gives the player something to do and give them a break from story. So that'll be it for tonight. It's 1:27 for me. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys again. Have a good one.